Hi, welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, and this is the aftermath. Well, thoroughly enjoyable game for me yesterday. FA Cup game, as FA Cup games should be. Lower league opposition, they came, they gave it a good go, but in the end, the Arsenal was way too strong for them. Brace for Lucas Podolski. I really liked his first goal. He was so clinical, took it round the keeper, tight angle, but it was never in doubt. Precise, great finish, and then the second one, a header. And later on in the game, goals added, included by Olivier Giroud. All round, good performance by Arsenal. 4 goals, you can't complain with that. Really and truly, we could probably have had a few more, but I've got to say a word for Coventry. I thought they played really well. They were a bit overall in the first half, but in the second half, they came out. They kind of surprised Arsenal with their pressing, pressed us high up the pitch, caught us in possession a few times, and had a few chances of their own. And you know, fair play to them. You know, they really put in a good shift, really put in a good effort, and their fans can be proud of their team. And their team need to be proud of their fans. I mean, those fans they got yesterday were absolutely amazing. Their protests, when they all held up those white placards and all the Arsenal fans were clapping them as well. I mean, we really, you know, see with them in their plight. I mean, if you don't know exactly what's been going on, Coventry City, they had a brand new stadium, the Rico Arena, where they've been playing, but they didn't actually own it. They was more or less just renting the ground, and now the new owners are in dispute with the current owners of that ground, and they've actually stopped playing at that ground and have moved 35 miles away to play at a little ground, Northampton Town. And I mean, could you imagine? Arsenal fans, we had to go and play 35 miles away at some other ground, Watford or something like that. I mean, we'd be up in arms. So, you know, it's really sad what's happened to Coventry. They used to be a big club, and to see where they are, and, you know, I was really felt it for their fans yesterday, and all Arsenal fans were right behind their protests, and, you know, they did it in good spirits, and I really hope that they can sort it out as a club, Coventry. But in the end, great victory for Arsenal, 4-0. We progress in the FA Cup. Really strong team that Arsene Wenger put out, so it shows that he's taking the competition seriously, unlike he did last year. Well done to Arsenal. We're back in the hat, and let's see who we come out with on Sunday. Hopefully it will be a home tie against another lower league team. That would be absolutely perfect. Let's go through some of your tweets and see what you had to say about the game. Lee Bourne says Podolski needs to play more, and Cazorla should play down the middle instead of Ozil. I'm not sure if I agree with you on the Cazorla-Ozil thing. Listen, I want Cazorla to play down the middle because that's where I love to see him play. But Ozil, listen, the guy, again yesterday, you may not think he had a great game, but who assisted for the first goal? Ozil. The guy, he's such a good player that even when he doesn't seem to be having his greatest of game, he's always got that decisive pass. He's going to get better and better and better. I like Ozil. He creates chances, and he is going to be a major player for Arsenal over the next few years. You trust me on that. Addicted to Arsenal said, wanted Ozil to get a rest, but it shows that Arsenal is taking the FA Cup serious. We learnt from the defeat against Blackburn. I'll tell you, when I saw the team yesterday and I saw Ozil, Mertesacker, Koscielny, I was like, wow, you know, Arsenal's really taking it seriously. Everyone played well, says Arsenal 360. Ozil can hopefully continue this form, and Bentner's just come back from injury, so you need to get off his back, fans. And there were a lot of fans on his back. Navi Williams says, please pose this question during your show. What does Bentner need to do to be a better striker? All right, I'm going to pose this question to you watching this program. What does Bentner need to do to be a better striker? Leave it in the comments below. You know, what does he need to be? Because he does need to improve. Yesterday, a couple of air shots. Bentner, I think, for Arsenal this season, as an impact player coming off the bench, has been good. He's had an impact in games, and, you know, he poses a threat in the air, you know, but playing the full 90 minutes still doesn't do it for me, and I still think we need to sign a striker in the January transfer window if we can get that striker in. Craig says, predictable result in the end, but fair play to Coventry and their fans. He said, Zalayem One for the future, certainly, the new Cesc Fabregas. Only 16-year-old, that kid. You would not believe it. He's passing the ball around like a 28-year-old. I'll tell you, he's going to be a big star. Connor DR says, if Bentner can't prove himself against a lower league side, then he's definitely not good enough for the Premier League. Ricky Luke says, every credit goes out to Coventry, who had a real go in the second half. In fairness, they had as many chances as we did, but in the end, class told. Big John says, as soon as Zalayan signs his contract, he should go out on loan. He's a promising talent. We've seen with Jack Wilshere in the past. He went out on loan. It only benefited him when he went to Bolton. Came back a stronger player. Zalayan, definitely a massive prospect. Only 16. I still can't get my head around that. Pete Gooner says, good win. Home and away fans were great. Bentner having a bad game in a mad way is a good thing because it shows that we need a centre forward. True. Luke still says, Podolski was amazing. The team played with ease. And yet still we've got Aaron Ramsey to come back. Come on, you Gunners. Aidan Freeman says, good win against a lower league opposition. Good to see us finish them off. It's something that we must carry on into the league. Arsenal World said, yesterday showed us that Arsenal will be competing on all fronts. Larger squad is required and Draxler must come in. I would love us to get Draxler. And Jamil R says, first time I went to a game yesterday and I was mesmerised by the way Jack Wilshere runs the midfield. Also, Jenkinson was quality. I thought Jenkinson as well had a great game yesterday. Some little bit shaky at first at the back, but once he got his game together and some of the crosses he put in yesterday, he is an excellent crosser of the ball. There just weren't nobody on the end of a load of those crosses. But well done to Carl Jenkinson. A lot of people have been saying he's the weak link. Listen, I think he's a sort of player. I think Bully said it in his interviews yesterday. He's a sort of player, if he gets a run of games, he will not let the team down. So well done to Carl Jenkinson yesterday. And well done to Arsenal. And we move on now into the next round. And as I said, hopefully we can get a home tie. I fancy us at home against anybody. But lower league opposition, let's try and get as far as we possibly can in this competition and try and win it this year. It'd be really good to have a day out at Wembley for all Arsenal fans. I think we deserve it for the patience we've been showing over the years. On the transfer front, thanks everybody who's been watching our daily Transfer Daily. We're going to be running that right through to the transfer window, which of course, as Jim White says on Sky, slam shut this coming Friday. The rumours have been going around about Draxler coming in. Arsene Wenger, of course, is denying them. Can't blame him because you saw what Chelsea done to Liverpool, gazumping them for Salah. You can't go out there and blurt out your targets. But I think there's something in it. Whether it's going to happen in the January transfer window or whether it's going to happen in the summer, that is the question. I think it'd be magnificent if Draxler came in now. Even if he played a limited amount of games, again, he will give the club that lift. With Draxler coming into the club, with Aaron Ramsey coming back, that again could kick us on again till the end of the season. But we're going to have to, we know Arsene Wenger, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. You can't predict that guy. Don't forget our shop. You can get T-shirts like this one. This is the brand new Oxlade Chamberlain charging on to victory. Good to see him back in the team again. And don't forget, as I mentioned last week, we've got a brand new app coming out. They're just putting the finishing touches to that. I will let you know as soon as that's available. But a brand new app, I'm really looking forward to when that comes out. And if you're a blogger out there and you want, because we get a lot of people saying that they want to send blogs in, right, we're open to that. If you want to send your blogs in, send them to info@arsenalfantv.com. If you send us in a good blog, it may get featured on our website, all right? Thanks for watching today, Arsenal Fan TV. We move on to Southampton next week. Looking forward to that. Need to win that game and keep pushing on. But it's Arsenal Fan TV. It's still all good at the AFC.
Hello, West. Hello, West.
It's like, no disrespect to Stevenage, Barnet and them sort of sides, right? We're all London, right? but you're going to have to knock sides out. And we did it with Spurs, or the Spuds, or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, Pigeon, great shout. And now we've let some lads from the Midlands come over, and they've bought, let's be honest, they've bought a side out who probably would go to White Hart Lane where we won the title. I mean Shite Hart Lane, where we won the title, and they would probably turn them over.